My name is Hannah Sheats, and today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about a wonderful composer by the name of Florence Price. Let me share my screen. All right, so we will be talking a little bit about the piece Crisscross by Florence Price. So, Florence B. Price was born in Little Rock, Arkansas. She composed over 300 works for orchestra, choral works, chamber music, and solo instruments. She was one of three children of mixed race. She had one white parent and one black parent. She was born in 1887. Now, back in her day, racism was still very strong. Racial tensions were very strong. So she had a rough time with that during her life. But let's talk about her early years. So in 1898, she published her first composition at the age of 11. In 1901, she graduated Catholic school. She graduated at 14 as the valedictorian of her class. In 1906, she graduated college with honors, dual majoring in piano and organ pedagogy. In 1910, she moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and became the head of the music department at the college there. She moved north during the Great Migration due to racial tensions and due to the fact that there was an actual lynching in the city that they lived in, that Florence and her then husband lived in. So they moved north to get somewhere safer during that time. In the 1930s, she won several prizes for her music and had many performances of her works. So Price was actually one of the, I think she may have been the first Black woman to have her work performed by a major orchestra. It was a big deal back in her day. All right, so her piece Crisscross for piano, for beginner piano, is such a fun little piece. It's level one, a good song to learn by rote, because I think a beginner would have a little trouble reading the notes here, since it's both in the treble clef and they're crisscrossing over each other the whole time. The right hand is sort of going over the left hand throughout the piece, so it would be a little difficult for a beginner to read, but they could learn it very easily by rote. The dynamics fluctuate. We have forte and we have a piano section, so that's fun for a beginner. They get to get that loud sound and then the quiet sound. Hand position starts at middle C in the left hand, and then the right hand is reaching an octave G over the middle C, and this, hence the name crisscross, because the right hand is crisscrossing over the left hand. The key is C major. In the second half, it delves a little into A minor. I think students would love that little bit of minor in the song that they may not be getting in other beginner pieces. This piece does include a da capo al fine, another reason why it would be better to teach by rote so that a student wouldn't have to understand the da capo al fine written. So the difficulties for the student with this piece is the first phrase is 9 measures rather than 8, and most students, I believe, will be used to 8 measure phrases. So a 9 measure phrase will just feel like there's something extra there. They might be thrown off a little bit by the beat there. The right hand does have to reach an octave or be able to jump over the left hand to reach the octave. So either way, the student needs to have a little bit of agility or a long reach. The crisscross of the hands over each other does require practice and coordination. It was confusing for me when I first read it, so it does take a little bit of practice to get there. The piece is a little difficult melody-wise to remember without words. So I had to play it 10, 15 times and still was struggling a little bit with remembering the melody and the notes to have it memorized. So I think that if a teacher was able to come up with some fun words to go along with the piece, then that would help the beginner student. So benefits for students learning this piece, the hand position is very easy to remember. One movement in the piece, you go from middle C to high C and then back again So I think it'd be very easy for students to remember that. The crisscross is very fun. If they got the hang of it, they would love it. So I think that's also helpful for students. And it definitely would build coordination because it takes a lot of coordination to get that crisscross movement down with the tempo and keep consistent. So that is all I have to say about Criss Cross and about the wonderful composer Florence Price. I would encourage you to read more about her. She was a very inspiring woman and just an amazing lady to read about. Studying her life, I want to read books on her. She was really amazing. So, thank you.